Hello Guardians and Assassins, welcome to another episode of Crucible School. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about bullet efficiency, which is basically, do you waste your bullets? Do you have enough bullets to kill your enemy? And on top of that, what happens if another enemy shows up? We're also going to talk about the meta, which is all kinds of things, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Fight or flight, basically, should I stick around and should I have this fight, or do I need to run? As well as being outnumbered. But I have a little bit of a motivational speech for you guys, so I'd like you to sit down and I'd like you to hear it.
Barely
24 hours ago.
long I pondered my king's cryptic talk of victory. Time has proven him wise. But from
Guardian.
to free
Guardian.
the word was spread that bold
Algernon.
and he
Two assassins.
so far from home laid down their lives, not just for
The tower.
but for all,
The universe.
and the promise this
The universe.
holds. Now, here on this rugged patch of earth called
The Crucible. Crucible opponents.
Face Obliteration!
So before I forget, I want to send a special thank you out to Full Max Diesel. He actually helped me out with a bunch of these matches, making sure that I could either get clips or making sure that we just completely didn't get smoked out. So, you know, there is a loss at the very end of this clip. Surprise, surprise. But it's only by a few points, which, you know, that's no big deal. It's still really good gameplay, which is why I didn't edit it and why I did not take it out. So, thanks again, Full Max Diesel. You saved the day there. Okay. So let's start talking about bullet efficiency, guys. You guys are probably like, what is bullet efficiency? I mean, bullets, they work. They go bang, blah, blah, blah. Well, guys, bullet efficiency is basically how effective that bullet is and pretty much how good you are at reserving your ammo to make sure that you can get the maximum amount of damage in the optimal time. Now, what that means is if I have an auto rifle and I want to make sure that, you know, to melt this one Guardian, well, guess what? I better make sure not to shoot when he's in range and not when he's out of range. Just like the example I had before, such as, you know, using a sidearm at scout rifle distance. That's not a good thing. The only two weapons that I know that can cross-map things efficiently that are not sniper rifles would probably be rocket launchers if you have good aim, positive outlook auto rifle because that thing just has no ending to the range, and the Mida multi-tool. Yeah, Mida's in there. Okay. Next, we are going to talk a little bit about the meta. Now, guys, I will stick a little thing in there so you guys know exactly what the current meta is. And there it is. So you guys can tell there's 8.3 million players total in Destiny 2. There's 321.1 thousand players in Crucible yesterday, and players that just play PvE like strikes, you know, the raids, so on and so forth, there is 745.7 thousand. That's a big number, guys. So the meta is basically the best thing that will actually get the job done, such as the Mida multi-tool. You're going for distance, use the Mida, it works. The meta is also pretty much the what everybody has seemed to flock to just because it works extremely efficiently. So when you talk about the meta, that's pretty much all you're talking about. If you notice in most of this gameplay, I don't really use the Mida multi-tool a lot. I use the positive outlook a whole lot though, and you know, some of the other weapons that are on that list. Now guys, in this next clip, I want to point something out, okay? There is a Guardian in here on the opposite team with the word Faze in front of it. That's F-A-Z-E. You guys will see this shortly. Now, I think it's like Faze Gravy Trainer or whatever he said it is. Faze Full Gravy. I don't know. Wasn't paying attention that close. But either way, the one thing that I did realize though is he is no Faze player. Now, guys, I'm gonna stick a little, you know, knowledge piece in there so you know what a Faze player actually looks like and what they can do.
You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little
Now guys, as you can see from the little clip that I have there, Faze players, they're not anything to really laugh at, you know what I mean? So this guy, Faze Gravy Boat or Faze whatever it is, either way, it's the one with the word Faze in front of it. If he is a Faze player, my god, the MLG has surely fallen a long way from decent. I mean, come on guys. Either way, I just kind of wanted to point that out. So, back to talking about the meta. Guys, on certain maps you need to use certain weapons, and as I said, you need to have all ranges covered, but at the same point in time, if you have one that particularly does the job extremely well, use it. Don't worry about what the meta is. People might look down on you because you're not using a Might multi-tool. So what? You know what? A lot of the other weapons that are out there are extremely good. For instance, the scout rifle from the Vanguard. That's right guys, we are talking about the one, the only, Nameless Midnight. Now the Nameless Midnight is a very, very, very good scout rifle that has pretty decent distance and it has explosive rounds. It is one of the only scout rifles that can go up against the Might multi-tool and win consecutively. Keep in mind, it's not an all-the-time thing, it's more about a skill thing, but hey, at least it's there. So, let's talk about fight or flight. Now guys, if you're one-on-one, you should be able to win a gunfight unless you missed the first couple rounds. Now keep in mind, if you completely potato the first 2 rounds and they hit you with their first 2 rounds, do the simple math, they're gonna win. So what you need to do is you need to turn and you need to run. And the reason you need to run is because you can always re-engage that Guardian at a later time. Keep in mind, it could be a really, really short time too. You could turn around, run behind something, get your health back, and start the engagement over again. Or you could go completely run and re-engage him at a different spot, later on in the match, whether that's a couple seconds or, a couple minutes or whatever, but you can re-engage that player. The point is, you don't need to stand there and give the enemies a kill. So do yourself a favor, up your KD, and stop getting killed when they have the advantage when it comes to life. I mean, come on, man. So, let's talk about being outnumbered, because that falls in with it. Now, if you are a one-on-one gunfight, once again, you should be able to win. You better win. Anyways, that, on the other hand, it depends on how good your aim is, so on and so forth. But now, if you are a 2-on-1, you might as well run. Same thing with 3-on-1 and 4-on-1. Now guys, there are exceptions to the rule. There's always exceptions to the rule. Like if you just got heavy and you know for a fact that you can instantly take 2 of them out and not have to worry about it with, let's say, the colony, because it will chase those guys down and just blow up on them like little spider monkeys. Anyways, yes, little spider monkeys. Anyways, if you fire all 4 rounds, you got to keep in mind the first grenade is pretty much going to take down the Guardian's shield. The second grenade is going to pretty much secure the kill for you as long as they are not in the air long enough for the grenade to detonate when they are no longer around it. Now, with that being said, if you have a full magazine of colony grenades, which is 4 of them when you pick up heavy, all you gotta do, if you're going around that corner and you're about to get in an engagement, step by step, fire all 4 rounds at the ground, you know what I mean, like probably out in the intersection there, and then what you want to do is you want to jump as you're coming around that corner, because most Guardians don't look up. I mean, it's human nature, they want to look at eye level, they do not want to look up in the air. So therefore, if you are above them, you are almost guaranteed to get your first shots and basically win that match. Now keep in mind guys, that could be a real easy triple play. Now if they're standing close to each other, that could even be a lights out. I mean, very simple. All you gotta do is clean up whatever Guardians are there afterwards. For instance, I have the play of the game grenade launcher here. That can take out a giant group if they are standing together, and apparently all 3 of them are standing fairly close but not close enough, and I didn't get my shots off on time because I decided to get team shot by 3 people. Bad luck. Anyways, so when it comes to being outnumbered, guys, if you don't have an advantage or you don't have something to push with, i.e. your super or something like that, like your super, you need to basically not take on multiple guardians at once unless you have another mechanic to actually restore your health as well. For instance, the warlocks with their devour, you can go behind a corner, eat a grenade, or if you already have devour procced, you'll get your health back instantly when that first guardian dies, and when the second one dies, and when the third one dies, and when the fourth one dies. Regardless, doesn't matter what weapon you use, you'll get your health back. So if you guys have something, a mechanic that you can use to push, then use it to push. Get those kills. Rack up that scoreboard. Don't doubt. And don't forget, guys, monitor how much you're playing. Just like the vest, I said it in the last video, you gotta watch how much time you're putting in, because if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, you'll just drop your KD if it's just a bad day for you. I mean, not great to hear, not a great thing to happen, but hey, it does happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you liked what you saw and heard, go ahead and click that like button. If you want to learn more, or you like my other videos and you like the whole Crucible School thing, go ahead and hit subscribe. Now guys, let me give you a fair warning. If you are one of those guys who binge watches all their YouTube at the end of the week, like during the weekend, and they don't want to be bothered during the week with it, do not click the notification bell. But if you don't mind, go ahead and click the notification bell, because I am going to be doing my best to upload daily. That doesn't always happen. So, let's try to help each other out here. Feel free to leave comments in the section below, anything, and you will get a response. It might not be right away, but you guys will get a response from it. So, as always, great gaming, Guardians. Enjoy the rest of the clip, and I'll see you in the next Crucible School.
Seconds. Defeat comes for us all.